Sermon illustrations. My friend, they can be like the light that lets the light into the room so that you're able to illuminate everything that's around, be able to see what's there. And just the right illustration can certainly make the difference in a message, being able to connect and bring the truth home to an individual, as opposed to just preaching into the air and nothing really connecting. I want to give you today 5 places, 5 locations that you can look for good sermon illustrations. Well, at least 5 anyway, and 4 of them are good ones, shall we say. There's probably more, certainly are more, but I'm going to give you these 5 that I've found to be especially effective, at least the 4 of them. Okay, let me get to it, shall I? Number 1, which is the first place that I began to look 39 years ago when I started preaching, and I found it to be a very ineffective place. Once in a great while, I'd find just a great illustration that really connected and did a great job. But often, with this particular source, I struck out. I'd end up spending hours looking through the book, and that's it, a sermon illustration book. I bought, I don't know, through the years, maybe over a dozen books that I tried, and tried to get the ones that looked like they were the best that were out there. But I very seldom ever found what I really needed. I don't recommend sermon illustration books. They're just really not the very best place to go. They can be an interesting read, but not necessarily the answer for what you're looking for. But the other 4 places, let me encourage you with those. I found them to be effective. The second one is current news. By simply taking a look at the newspaper, clippings of interesting happenings, and you really need a system to go with this. Not only a system of filing those sermon illustrations, but a system of how to draw illustrations out of current events. But through the newspaper, you can get a ton of things. I mean, you can go back to obituaries, you can go into wedding announcements, you can go into current news issues. Even the weather can be a source at times of a good sermon illustration, depending on what you're looking for. But you need a system on how to develop those. Third of all, I guess actually, is life experiences. Now, these can be everything from the mundane. For instance, today I went to the restaurant and ate there. We waited for our lunch an extra long time, but the food was especially good because we were hungry. Is there an illustration there? Oh, my friend, there is. That when you're hungry, when you get your heart set on the things of God, then you'll be hungry for the things of God. They'll taste great. If they don't taste great, often it's a problem with your palate. It's a problem with your stomach not being hungry, and you're just force-feeding yourself, and you need to work on the hunger side of things. Maybe a little more exercise, maybe a little more exertion would bring that out. So it can be the mundane. It can also be the more eventful things in your life that take place. Maybe the death of someone close to you, a friend or a loved one, or maybe great joy that's taken place. Someone in your family who's accomplished something great that you're excited about, and those kind of events can also be monumental. Of course, a tragedy in your life or the lives of others can be used in this realm. Fourth of all is the academic sciences, things like history. History is a tremendous place to look for sermon illustrations, and if you look into history, now you say, I don't want to read large volumes and read forever in order to come up with an illustration. There's a shortcut to this. Let me give you the shortcut. You go to a bookstore, go to Amazon.com or one of those places, and pick you up a book with short stories from history, brief chapters, brief happenings. They can often be a real gold mine for information, for stories that you can use. And then, of course, the science itself. You can go into biology. You can go into all types of sciences and find illustrations that are there. And you can just keep working your way around. Again, you need a system for these. How do I develop an illustration out of the information that's sitting there? And then, last of all, what I consider the very best source of all. It's probably one of the most overlooked, least used, yet the simplest, fastest way to not only find an illustration, but second, to drive home truth and teach truth in the midst of giving the illustration, and that's using the Bible itself. But again, you need a system. In each of these different areas, you need a system to be able to take the information at hand and turn it into a powerful illustration to illustrate Bible truth. Well, let me recommend, I've got a short little book. It's rather inexpensive. The link you'll see down at the bottom there, and I think we'll probably have one on this video as well, or you can go and look at a little book where I've put together a short system for helping you draw together those Bible illustrations. And let me tell you, it's a powerful way to get some sermon material. So let me encourage you with that. I'll be bringing some other videos from time to time, giving you more information on how to build these sermon illustrations, and hopefully they'll be of some help. If this has been of any value to you, would you click the like button down there at the bottom of this YouTube video? Thanks so much. God bless.